So the manager merry-go-round is just about done over in the Championship, and maybe Leicester still trying to officially confirm their new manager, and maybe even Sheffield Wednesday dealing with Danny Roll's situation. But besides all that, everything else is calm as you like, and the transfer activity is nicely bubbling. But what has that done to the bookies' outlooks? We're going to take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're taking an updated look at their bookies' predictions for the upcoming campaign over in the Championship. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe. You want subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, World Football, Championship Football. We're going to all here under one rooski. That's right. Of course, we've already done this once before, but a lot has changed since those predictions, or the bookies' outlook anyway, with, of course, the EFL release fixture list. Of course, some people start hard, some people end hard, some people just have it all the way difficult. And of course, the manager merry-go-round has calmed down, and we've also seen some strategic moves in the transfer market. But what has that done to the table? Well, we'll take a look in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash your subscribe. So what we're going to do now, though, is work our way from the bottom all the way to the top with the bookies' outlook, not my outlook. So don't hate me, guys. It's not what I think, it's what the bookies think. So here we go, starting with 24th place. And also, before we get into it, we're going to compare them, the results or the positionings to what happened about a month ago. So see if they've moved up or down. And there's been a bit of a shake-up. So what am I talking about? Well, into 24th place, I don't think we have a mover. It is still Oxford United at 100-1. Yes, no major movements there in regards to positioning, which is surprising because I think Oxford have done some good business. You've got that Kirschmacher fella coming in here, and he looks like a right old a quality addition in the middle of the park. So we'll see just how well he can drive that midfield with Brannigan in the middle as well. So a nice solid midfield, and that's where you can work your season from in the middle of the park there. Into 23rd place, again, non-mover. It is Charlton. They had odds at 80-1 last time, 80-1 this time. So yes, no bueno. So those two are expected to go down according to the bookies, and they're joined with a new name, I think, in the mixer here. It is Sheffield Wednesday. That's right. A massive downgrade from 18th all the way down to 22nd. There's no surprise there with the likelihood of Danny Roll being departing, and of course the old financial restraints, transfer embargo. 80-1. Of course, they were 50-1 to win the title last time. 80-1 to win the title now, so they're expected to struggle, and they're expected, according to the bookies, to go down, which of course is a good news for these guys. In 21st place, it is QPR. They were 20th last time, drifting a little bit, but the odds, I think, are about the same, 66-1, but of course positionally they are down towards the drop zone. Of course, Julian Steffen's come in. He's a good coach. He's a mystery box, though. He could be a bit of Reggie Labrie, but he could also be a bit of who's really shit. I don't know. It could be Steven Schumacher or something like that. You know, it could be an absolute nightmare. So we'll see. Jury's out. So it could be worth a quid to see them push up the table. Meanwhile, to 20th place, it is Preston. That's right. They've been busy on the old transfer market. Again, they've moved up one position from 21st to 20th. The odds stayed the same at 66-1 for them as well. So they're non-movers in regards to the odds, but they're moving up one place, courtesy of Sheffield Wednesday. But they've been very, very active in the transfer market, bringing in about 5 or 6 players already. But they've also lost Niels Rees, the old striker there, who's gone to Bristol City. So 20th place for Preston. So moving into the teens we go, and it is Portsmouth. That's right. They are moved up a couple of spots from 22nd to 19th. The odds, I think, also staying the same at 66-1. That means that other clubs in and around them are weakening to kind of keep Portsmouth level with the same odds, but just moving upwards 2 or 3 places. So a good move for Mourinho's boys. It is the second season syndrome here, with the likes of Oxford also competing to try and stick around. Sheffield Wednesday, are they in the same sort of wheelhouse? Maybe not. Anyway, moving forward into 18th place, it is Hull City. That's right. They're also under a transfer embargo. Their odds were 40-1 last time, and they were ranked 70th. They've drifted to 50-1. So down one position. New manager, transfer embargo. All kinds of shenanigans going on over there. So I agree. I think they're a team to watch in regards to trouble. So we'll see if they can navigate all that and get themselves out of that drop zone, or out of that conversation, and then move up towards mid-table and beyond. It's a 17th place. It is my beloved Blackburn is, what the bloody hell are they doing down there? They've actually dropped one place from 16th to 17th. They had odds at 40 to 1. They're now 50 to 1, so they're drifting further afield. And yes, I can agree that my optimism has changed in regards to Rovers. I did have them in the playoffs last time. Now I'm thinking top 10. We need to make some strong moves. Of course, a lot of the gripes and groans at the moment are with senior pros whose contracts expire next summer, when there's a potential of losing those for not that good of money, and basically weakening our squad that finished 7th last time. So we need to get some new signings down, or at least contracts tied up, to get the morale upwards and changing. But at the moment, it is a very much a question mark about Blackburn Rovers. But don't get me wrong, the team hasn't changed that much. It's just the future doesn't look good at the moment. Anyway, 17th place Rovers into 16th place, and it is Derby County. That's right. They're actually drifted from 13th to 16th in regards to positional. They got 40 to 1. The odds were... did I tell a lie? Tell a lie. They're on the upwards trajectory. I've got their logo mixed up with Swansea. So they are from 19th to 16th. The odds have shrunk from 50 to 40 to 1. Why? Well, they've made some mega moves, and actually good moves. They brought in a couple of ex-Rovers there. Of course, Andy Wyman, Danny Bart, some experience has, but also Carl Morris, who knows where the back of the net is. Also, they're bringing in, it looks like, Adjamang, the old USA striker, a good hefty bit of cash. So it looks like Eustace is getting a bit of backing, and they're moving on the upwards. So Derby County could be in and around that mid-pack, maybe more. Into 15th place we go now. It is Watford. Have drifted from 14th to 15th. They had odds 33 to 1 last time. They have odds still at 33 to 1 this time. Again, I don't know. I'd have a little bit of question marks about these guys. New manager, but who doesn't have a new manager? There's a lot of new managers knocking around this season. So, I'm not too sure. Even though Watford have been spending a bit of money, but they're doing it the old dodgy ways through Udinese and all their other little feeder clubs. So it's a little bit snaky, if you know what I mean. A little sneaky. But Watford into 15th. Hey, I love Watford, me. Second club right there. But anyway, to 14th place, it is Swansea. They are moving downwards from 13th to 14th. The odds were 33 to 1 last time. They are 33 to 1 this time. But they've made some good moves as well. And I think the coach still question marks, even though he had a great back end of the campaign and was a little bit hard done by. If the season was 2 or 3 games longer, they could have broken into that playoff scenario because no one else seemed to really want it. So Swansea seem to have a good coach, but can he do this? Can he manage a whole season in charge? Into 13th place, and it is Stoke City. They're up from 50th through 13th, and their odds have not changed, though. They're pretty much as you were. They're 33 to 1 last time, but they've moved up a couple spots in regards to the bookies' outlook, and they've been also been looking like a bit active in the transfer market. Into 12th spot is Millwall. They are pretty much as you were last time, and it's pretty much Millwall in it, vanilla, right in the middle. 12th place, 33 to 1. They were also 33 to 1 last time. Keeping hold of Ivanovic is the main aspect here. Tanganga looks, has he gone? Did he go? Or is he potentially going? I lost track of that because he was linked with some Premier League moves. So we'll see if he's still there as we come back, maybe closer to August. Into 11th place. It's the top half of the table we go, and it is Bristol City. They are non-movers, actually. They had odds 20 to 1 last time. They have 25 to 1, so they're drifting quite considerably in regards to the odds. Of course, it's now official. Since we last spoke, Liam Manning is no more. He's moved on to pastures new, and Gerhard Struber has come back to the EFL. Last time he was here, he was taken over from Big Val, I think, or maybe was it before Big Val, over in League One with Barnsley. Jury is out if he can cut the mustard this time around. He's been all around the place, especially in MLS. So can he work a treat with Bristol City? His football could be good, but it could be woeful. Into top 10 we go, especially if you don't have the resources. It is West Bromwich Albion, drifted from 8th to 10th. Ryan Mason now in charge. Odds previously 16 to 1, they're now down to 20 to 1. But they were looking like they were making some moves. I think they just signed some Hegem guy, big old unit up top from the Scandinavian leagues, possibly Norway or Denmark. Big striker. He looks good on paper. It could be a dark horse for the goal scoring boot if he can keep him fit as well. But Ryan Mason, again, question marks about him. Can he do it? Can he cut mustard as a first team coach on a regular basis? We will have to see. That's into the top 10. 9th place it is. Norwich City, they're up from 10th to 9th, 16-1 last time, 16-1 this time. Now, the only thing that's changed, I want to say only thing, big thing, is of course Liam Manning coming in, and he looks like he's bringing in a few players. Has Darling come over there from Norwich? He's trying to bring some of his old boys, old guard from Darling was his old geezer at MK Dons, if my memory serves me. But they're also bringing in some big-time players, I think, up top and at the back. It looks like that means some outwards players like Saints and Sargent possibly going. I'm not sure when this video goes out, but those deals may already be done by the time this video goes out. We'll see. But just outside the playoffs, into 9th place. Into 8th place, what do we have? We have Wrexham, of course, up from 9 to 8. They had odds 16-1 last time. They're still 16-1 this time. They're adding players, but they're also cutting their cloth accordingly. Paul Mullen, of course, the face of the place, is no longer there. He's been let go to Wigan for the season, but they're bringing in aging kind of players. So aging Premier League players at the moment. I think they're kind of testing the waters a little bit. They're not going gung ho with the transfers. When you look at Birmingham City, who also got promoted with Wrexham last season. Birmingham were going nuts with the cash. Wrexham are kind of being a little bit coy at the moment, seeing and kind of evaluating what they've got and just adding a few experienced pros here, there, and everywhere, which could be a strategic approach. And maybe kind of not really aiming to get promoted this time, which Birmingham, unfortunately, looks like they're trying to go for it right now. In the 7th place, it is Leicester City. They're actually non-movers. 12-1 last time, odds of 12-1 this time. And again, as of right now, no official announcement as to who's going to be the manager. Gary O'Neill looks to be in the prime position. Chris Wilder, of course, I haven't talked about him yet. Of course, no longer at Sheffield United, which may have a sort of change of play in regards to where they finish, but he's also in contention to replace Ruud van Nistelrooy at Leicester. So 7th place, they're non-movers. Again, points deduction impending, we would think. So we'll see about that. Into 6th place, it is Middlesbrough, who of course were 5th last time, 10-1 last time, 12-1 this time. Again, they've also changed their manager. Last time we spoke, it was... Who was it? It was matey boy Carrick, no longer there. Ryan Edwards has come in. Of course, he did a shit job really at the back end of last season for Luton. Will he get it right this time? Of course, it's a clean slate for him. And it's an opportunity for him to get back into the playoff discussion. He'll have the gear or the cash as well, with, I'm sure, some sales. So we'll see about that. I don't know where the heck they were. There they are. They were 4th last time, so they dropped off a position. They had odds of around about 10-1 last time, 12-1 now. Of course, drifting a little bit, so a bit of a shake up there. But it's still in the playoffs, still in there with Frank Lampard, and of course they should be all right because they're most of the core team players are still there. A few changes around up and down the pitch, but ultimately they got Redondi there, Haji Wright still there, of course. But into 4th place, it is high spending Birmingham City. They were 6th last time, 10-1. They're now 8-1, so the odds are shortening on them, but they're bringing some really good players. It is quite envious to see, but it could also be a bit of a nightmare if it doesn't work out. The Fugarashi signing, former Celtic man, played his football in Rennes, didn't really work out for him over there. But he's 30 years of age, so he's not the youngest spring chicken, but he is a talented little player. And I do think Birmingham right now, they're making solid appointments or on an already established kind of team that should do well. But I just think, the goalkeeping scenario, they brought in young Beadle from Brighton. Again, he's not the greatest, so that might be again, he's a youngster with a point to prove and maybe to build upon his season last time from Sheffield Wednesday. So I'm curious to see. I think they'll do all right. I don't think they'll get relegated. I think they will not be as good as they think they're going to be. I think they could be in and around about playoffs, 7th, 8th, something like that. But it's difficult, cutthroat, especially when you think about the teams that have come down. Speaking of teams that are coming down, well, actually, this time didn't go down. It's Sheffield United in 3rd. They were 3rd last time, 9-1 last time, 8-1 this time. This one's curious. It's I don't really believe in it because I think with Chris Wilder, yes, 3rd. With Ruben Selles, again, I like the coach. I think he's a good coach. He's a good coach when the resources are down. You know what I mean? He did a great job at Reading. I think he was doing an okay job at Hull City. And I think if he would have stayed at Hull City, they would have been definitely a better position than they were last time. At Sheffield United, you've got a lot of resources and you've got a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation, especially under this new ownership that wants success. So don't get me wrong, they've picked one out of the fire here, and he's must buy himself a couple of lottery tickets tonight because he's landed himself on his feet. But I don't think with Ruben Sellis in charge, Sheffield United will finish third. I don't think that. I think they could even struggle to make the playoffs. Into second place, though, it is one of those fallen teams. It is Southampton. Of course, they were second last time, 11-2. 11-2 still. And, of course, top spot still is Ipswich Town, odds of 92. And it was also 9-2 last time. So that is it, guys. That is the take away from the bookies. Of course, it could change even dramatically so in the next month. And hopefully we'll have another one of these when we get closer to the start of the season. But as expected, Ipswich non-movers, they've kept McKenna. That was the main struggle because Brentford were looking. They've decided to hire in-house, so McKenna stays. And of course, in that regards, I think Ipswich should stay in the top two. But again, that's not my take. This is the bookies' take. We'll be back, of course, another time for another video. But until then, we are done.